emphasis on political process, views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebonade 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date.
Okay, guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching from. Please like, subscribe, and share. Right, hit the subscribe. Amazon.com, hip hop and Igbo culture by yours faithfully, Martin Pan Scriptures. All right, you can also check it out. St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Omoni. Go to St. Michael's Catholic Church, uh, Abacha. York. That will also stick around for political views on Ebon and the political of Danton. Okay, former Vice President accused President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of a conflict of interest because of his son Sheyi, was on the board of EDK CDK Integrated Industries, a subsidiary of Chagoury Groups, owned by the president. Atiku said the conflict of interest is a result of contract of Lagos Calabar contract. He disclosed that CDK is involved in production of ties. Good afternoon and welcome to Political Views on Ebonade 103.5 FM. I am Martin Shuku Ekezie. Now, when we focus on the cost of living based on the inflation in Nigeria today, the NLC and TUC insist on 615,000 naira minimum wage as we speak. Fuel queues is beginning to disappear in fuel stations in the FCT in Abuja. A lot is happening. Let me bring you up to speed on the happenings on our political space this afternoon. The headlines. On our headlines this afternoon, Atiku raises alarm over Tinubu's son's membership of Chagoury's board. Tinubu not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship, Deputy Speaker Kalo. Nnamdi Kano's wife visits IPOB leader in DSS custody. Federal government slashes Ban A electricity tariff to 206 naira per kilowatts. North Central Group in court, 6 Ganduje sack as APC chairman. I am not fighting anyone, only interested in good governance. OT. Northern leaders, NMPP won federal government against defense pact with US. France. Police transfer FIJ reporter Daniel Ojukwu to Abuja. Imo professionals hail Uzodinma's plan for uninterrupted electricity supply. Socio-economic rights and accountability project sues states weaker for alleged failure to account for loans. Now, details. Yes, you're listening to Political Views on Ebona Day 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-96661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we're live at Ebona Day 103.5 FM. And the first story we have for you on this particular edition of Political Views on Ebona Day 103.5 FM is Atiku raises alarm over Tinubu's son's membership of Chagoury's board. Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar has alleged that the presence of President Bola Tinubu's son on the board of companies owned by Gilbert Chagoury constitutes a conflict of interest. Atiku, in a statement yesterday by his media advisor Paul Ibe, advised Tinubu to focus more on attracting real investors than adopting propaganda as a state policy. According to the former Vice President Tinubu's son, President Tinubu's son, Sheyi, is a director of the board of CDK Integrated Industries, a subsidiary of the Chagoury Group, which manufactures ceramic tiles and sanitary towels. Citing a report by a Paris-based Africa intelligence news agency, where it was revealed by the Corporate Affairs Commission that Sheyi is officially a business associate of Chagoury. The former vice president said it was not surprising that the Chagoury Group had become the highest beneficiary of the Tinubu's Alleges. He said, thanks to quality reporting by African intelligence, our suspicions have been confirmed that Chagoury and Tinubu are indeed business partners, and it has been formalized with Sheyi on the board of one of Chagoury's firms. The former vice president said that it had become obvious even to the undiscerning that the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway was being done in a hurry purely because of the business relationship between Tinubu and the Gilbert Chagoury, the owner of High Tech, the contractor that was awarded the contract for the highway project in contravention of the procurement laws. It is on record that this project is the most expensive single project ever embarked upon by the Nigerian government. And the next story we have for you this afternoon is Tinubu not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship. Deputy Speaker Carlo. As we await network on that story, let's flip over to the next story that says Nnamdi Kanu's wife visits IPOB leader in DSS custody. Uchechi Kanu, the wife of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has hailed the senator representing Anambra South Senatorial District, Senator Ifeanyi Oba, for facilitating her visit to her husband at the facility of the Department of State Services in Abuja. During a live session on Radio Biafra on Sunday, Mrs. Kanu disclosed that she visited her husband on April 16th after several denials by the DSS officials. Kanu has been detained at the DSS detention since his rendition from Kenya in 2021 after he was rearrested for allegedly jumping bail in 2017 when he fled the country. Speaking during the live radio program, Ms. in the United Kingdom and other parts of the world said she had severally been denied access to her husband until last month when she approached Senator Oba, who swiftly facilitated her visit. She said she knew that a lot of Igbo elites are genuinely concerned about the unlawful incarceration of her husband and were working silently to help him regain his freedom. She said, let me use this opportunity to thank Senator Ifanyoba, who moved swiftly to facilitate my visit to my husband in DSS custody. I thank you, sir. I thank other Igbo politicians, governors, and political office holders who are concerned about the plight of my husband. A lot of these elites are concerned about the unlawful detention of my husband and are working silently to secure a roundtable discussion for his release. I'm thankful to them. Oba also confirmed to journalists on Monday when contacted that he facilitated the visit of Mrs. Carnos to her husband when he learned that she was finding it difficult to visit him in detention. Now, the next story we have for you on this particular edition of Political Views is Tinubu not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship. Deputy Speaker Carlo. The Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, said the President Bola Tinubu was not responsible for Nigeria's current economic hardship. This is as the lawmaker on Sunday feted orphans, widows, people living with disabilities, and the aged at his Bend, Abia State country home to mark his 53rd birthday. Fielding questions from newsmen during the massive attended event, the Deputy Speaker explained that Nigeria's current economic ordeals were occasioned by the errors of the previous administrations in the country, which, according to him, President Tinubu is working hard to fix. The hardship we are passing through was not caused by this man. It is a piled up case of previous administrations and how they mismanage one or two things. Carlo urged the Nigerians to be patient with President Tinubu as he makes effort to address the challenges he inherited, claiming that his policies are beginning to yield results. We cannot continue to live in lies thinking that all is well. Tinubu wants to clean up the place so that we can have a genuine livelihood that is sustainable. Let's keep supporting and encouraging him, he stated. You are listening to Political Views on Ebon at the 103.5 FM. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making rounds at political space. Please stay with us.
If you know your history, then you will know where you are coming from. And in whatever you do, seek wisdom. Knowledge is power. Inugo Maka the book, Hip Hop and Igbo Culture, authored by Martin Atiku Accuses number the first. Metal of Ebon at the 103.5 FM. There is a great insight in hip hop and Igbo culture. You can get this book or pick it up at a bookshop in St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Omonia, or at Ebon at the 103.5 FM Ogidi. You can also get this book at the Catechist office in St. Michael's Catholic Church, Abacha, or you go to www.amazon.com. Search for Hip Hop and Igbo Culture by Martin Atiku Accuses. For further information on how to get this book, please call 080-3916-7049 or your WhatsApp 080-6579-6599.
You are welcome back to Political Views on Ebona Day 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way, Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Saturday, 10 o'clock a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So the happenings in the political, like the corridors of power on a very good day affects you and me in one way or the other, and that's why we are so politically inclined. And by edition of Political Views is federal government slashes ban A electricity tariff to 206 naira per kilowatts. The federal government has approved a downward review in electricity tariff for Band A customers to 206.80 naira per kilowatts from 225 naira per kilowatts. Band A customers are electricity consumers with a minimum supply of 20 hours daily. In a notice to its customers on Monday, Ikeja Electricity stated, "Please be informed of the downward tariff review of our Band A feeders from 225 naira kilowatts to 206 naira per kilowatts effective 6th May 2024 with guaranteed availability of 20 to 24 hour supply daily. The tariff for Band B, C, D, and E remains unchanged. Recall that Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission has increased the tariff paid by Band A customers from 68 naira per kilowatts to 225 naira per kilowatts. Band A customers are expected to receive between 20 and 24 hours of electricity supply daily. Those under B enjoy 16 to 20 hours of power supply, and those in Band C receives 12 to 16 hours daily. Also said the NEC also said the Band A customers make up just 15% of total electricity consumers in the country. Additionally, these consumers would no longer enjoy government subsidy on electricity. However, the review of electricity tariff generated reactions across the country. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 08096661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we are live at Ebona at the 103.5 FM. On to the next story we have for you on this particular edition of Political Views is a North Central Group in court seeks Ganduje's sack as APC chair. A North Central Group has approached a Federal Capital Territory High Court Abuja to remove Abdullahi Ganduje as chairman of the All Progressive Congress. The group, under the auspices of concerned North Central APC stakeholders, had in a letter signed by Momade Etsu, Wenga Lubem, Abdul Ganiyu Lukman, Bagu Jong, Isa Imam, and Muhammad Idris stated that the APC North Central resolve to unanimously agitate for their rights and reclaim their mandates. The letter, which was addressed to the National Working Committee of APC dated April 30th, 2024, sought the restoration of the zoning arrangement of the party in a suit marked CS 2024. Ganduje APC, the National Executive Council of APC, and APC NWC were mentioned as the first to fourth defendants respectively. The plaintiff, in an originating motion filed on Friday by their counsel, Joshua Obono Obla, asked the court to set aside the appointment of Ganduje by the third defendant as the national chairman of APC because he refused to comply or neglect the procedure laid down by Article 31.5 of APC. They stated that one of the decisions taken collectively and consensually by the leaders of the party at the last national convention was that the national chairmanship position of the party must be considered to someone from the North Central geopolitical zone of the country. In an affidavit, a former national chairmanship aspirant at the 2022 IPC National Convention, Muhammad Esu, claimed that it was decided that the position of national chairmanship must be exclusively macro zoned to Nasarawa. They argued that Ganduje's continued chairmanship of the party contravened the provisions of Article 7 VI and IX of the APC Constitution and the consensus reached at the 2022 National Convention in Abuja. Still on our political space this afternoon, I'm not fighting anyone, only interested in good governance. OT. Governor-elect Oti of Abia State said that his administration is not fighting anybody but only interested in recovering looted funds and achieving good governance. Oti stated this at Mvosi during a solidarity visit by various groups and the supporters of the member representing Ishalangwa South State constituency, Chief Roland Chungwende. He explained that what he wants is the progress and development of Abia State, stressing that if the immediate past administration will refund the 10 billion naira spent on the airport if project is not funded, he disclosed that this administration will soon commence a medical city project in Abia, which would attract people with serious health issues to the state for adequate medical care. Oti insisted that all his administration is doing in the state is just a rehearsal, as he is more committed to delivering democracy dividends in his second year. He described the solidarity visit by Honorable Chungwando and his group of supporters as a good omen and thanked the lawmaker for his support in the State House of Assembly. He further disclosed that they have been working together since the inception of the 8th Assembly. He said, I established a forensic audit of our account as soon as I was sworn in, and the report turns out that a lot of money was looted, stolen brazenly, and a part of the one I mentioned was the 10 billion naira Abia Airport project. They started insulting me. If you follow what is happening in the media, you would know that what I said is true. We are looking for our money. If we are not able to find the airport, they would have to refund us our money. We are not pursuing anybody. They should refund the money they stole. Let's use it to work for our people. OT stated. Well, in his speech, the member representing Isialamba South State Constituency, Honorable Roland Chunwando, noted that the people of Isialamba South sent him to the House of Representatives to represent their interests with his democracy dividends, stressing that he cannot afford to be seen as an opposition to the governor, who is from the same council area with himself, the lawmaker, while commending Oti for the ongoing reconstruction of Umwenen Road, among other projects in the state, said that he brought his supporters to identify with him and tell him that they are proud of his achievements in office. In his remarks, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Prince Uzo Nwachukwu, and Mayor of Isialamba South Local Government Area, Dr. Elelenta Nwambuisi Elele, noted that the coming of a governor at this time is divine and described Oti as a leader who is on a divine mission to rebuild the state for the better. And the next story we have for you, Northern leaders, NMPP, won federal government against defense pact with US, France. New Nigeria People's Party and Northern leaders yesterday warned the federal government to be cautious in signing any defense pact with France and the United States of America. The party noted that countries like Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso had recently expelled French and American soldiers from their bases and were now reportedly lobbying to have a military base in Nigeria, which is strategically located in the Gulf of Guinea. The party's national publicity secretary, Ladipo Johnson, in a statement, noted that such a pact could have disastrous implications for Nigeria's internal peace and its relationship with neighboring countries, especially those in the Sahel region. NMPP observed that such a reported defense pact would not necessarily fulfill their stated objectives, saying similar pacts had failed in the past. Johnson noted that the national chairman of NMPP, Dr. Ahmed was compelled to commission an expert group of researchers to look into the matter due to the general alarm it engendered and the overriding calls for caution by many respected citizens and members of the party from various parts of the country. He said, going down memory lane, the NMPP observed that since the abrogation of the Anglo-Nigerian Defense Pact in the 1960s, the country has resisted all attempts to recreate military bases in Nigeria, and as such, the current reported attempt must be subjected to rigorous debate and consensus from the generality of Nigerian citizens. The party drew attention to the need to maintain a cordial relationship with affected neighboring countries like Niger and Mali, suggesting that any defense pact with either France and or the United States could impact negatively on Nigeria's existing regional relationships, aggravate already damaged bilateral relations, and thereby disrupt regional equilibrium and peace. Still on our political space, the next story we have for you this afternoon is Imo professionals hail Uzodinma's plan for uninterrupted electricity supply. Governor Hope Uzodinma's move to ensure uninterrupted electricity supply in Imo State has been met with widespread jubilation and praise from professionals and businessmen in the state. A body of professionals of the Forum of Imo Professionals commended the governor for signing the Imo State Electricity Law and securing President Bola Tinubu's approval for the transfer of the Egbema Power Plant project to the state government. The body, in a statement issued by its coordinator, Ambassador Gregory Mbadiwe, and made available to journalists in Abuja on Monday, said the governor's bold decision has set the stage for massive, rapid industrialization of the state. This bold stride by Governor Uzodinma has set the ball rolling for massive infrastructural development, a rapid industrialization, and revamping of small and medium enterprises. We are confident that with this framework, there will be adequate electricity supply in all parts of Imo State within the next 8 months, the statement added. The professionals praised Governor Uzodinma for engaging a world-class power company from Egypt, Elsewedy Power Generation, for electricity generation, transmission, and distribution in the state. They expressed optimism that the initiative will spur youth creatively, boost employment, and achieve self-sufficiency in all sectors, and making Imo a major investment hub for the southeast and the nation at large. Electricity supply is essential for modern development, and we appreciate Governor Uzodinma for this initiative. Our people have suffered years of retrogressive due to poor power supply, but this move has elicited some spontaneous jubilation and hopefulness across the state, he said. Ambassador Mbadiwe also commended Governor Uzodinma for attracting massive investment in the state, including the signing of Memorandum of Understanding with Hassan Alam Holding and Ponds Limited for the construction of a 200-room Nimo Marriott Hotel in Owerri. And the next story we have for you is police transfer FIJ reporter Daniel Ojukwu to Abuja. The Nigerian Police Force has transferred a journalist with the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, Daniel Ojukwu, to Abuja. A lawyer, Ridwan, okay, disclosed this on Sunday morning in a post on his X handle. I can confirm that Daniel was moved to Abuja early this morning. He was allowed to make call and he's just spoke with me, okay, said. He is currently being held at the Threat Response Unit of MPF National Cyber Crime Center, Abuja. Okay, said that he first met Ojukwu on Saturday, having been detained in Lagos since Wednesday, May 1st, making it his fourth day in detention. He added that Ojukwu's mother only found out almost 48 hours after his arrest because they started looking at police stations and not because they allowed him contact his people. Okay, also said the journalist was not allowed to call his lawyers, friends, and relatives to notify them of his arrest. According to OK, the police officers gave express instruction not to allow him reach out to anyone as he was kept incommunicado. Police claimed they have remand and search warrants but have never shown them to him, OK stated. Daniel, up till now, up to this moment, has not been officially shown their petition against him, nor has the police communicated who the complainant is to him. The FIJ in an early report said that Ojukwu was arrested by the Intelligence Response Team (IRT) of the Inspector General of Police (IGP) Kayode Ebutokun. According to a report, the journalist was initially detained at the State Criminal Investigation Department (SCID) Panti in Lagos State. Ojukwu went missing on Wednesday, May 1st. His number switched off and his whereabouts unknown to both colleagues, friends, and family. FIJ said last Thursday it initially made the report of a missing person at police stations in the area where Ojukwu was headed. The media outlet stated that last Friday, a private detective it hired tracked the last active location of reporters' phones to an address in Ishere, in Lofin, Ishere or Lofin. FIJ said it believes that was the location where the police had originally abducted the journalist. Ojukwu's family would subsequently get wind of his detention. They were made to understand the authorities are accusing him of violating 2015 Cybercrime Act, FIJ said. A relative who visited him told FIJ that the authorities declined to provide a contact detail of the investigative police officer IPO on jurisdictional grounds as the case was beyond Lagos. The last story we have for you this evening before you can call in and tell us what you think of all of this is Archbishop condemns Kano's continued detention as a group force knackers on a Supreme Court verdict. The Anglican Archbishop of Niger Province and the Bishop of Oka, Right Reverend Alexander Ibezim, has called on President Bola Tinubu to release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, for peace to reign, asserting that the agitators' continued incarceration is a national embarrassment. Ibezim, who made this call during the 13th Synod of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion team, running the Christian life, implications for the church in perilous times, observed that Eastern Nigeria has suffered a lot, according to him. For Nigeria to be powerful, the Igbo must be given a chance in the national leadership of the country. He noted that justice delayed is justice denied. He said, the truth remains that injustice sets back a nation, and once an ideology about injustice into a people, no amount of force can quell it under justice unless justice is done. So no amount of force can quell it unless justice is done. The Archbishop said that the church should continually embark on a race guided by the rules and genesis, goal orientation, genuineness, endurance, discipline, and perseverance to win, wondering if the current in the perilous times prophesied by Daniel. In his remarks, the Bishop of Oji River, Joseph Ebon, contended that Nigeria appears upside down as the current situation call for surgery at the foundational level to structurally revive the country or opt for something else. There you have it. The visit of the wife of IPOB leader Mazen Nandekano to DSS where he's held is sparking a mixed reaction. Southeasterners, the fact that the person who facilitated her visit to the DSS was the Senator Ifeanyi Oba. A lot is happening, and we need to talk about it. At the same time, we are looking at the situation whereby NLC and the TUC insist that 615,000 naira is the minimum wage that we now, saying that 30,000 expired a long time ago. So, what is your take on all of this? We need to talk about it. Remember that you can join us on Facebook at Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Drop your comment on the comment section of the live video. You can WhatsApp messages on 080-9666-1035. Now, let's hear from you. What do you have to say about all of this? Call us now on 070-3445-9334 or 070-4559-2210. Let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about this? Hello?
Hello, Martin.
Yes, good evening, my sister. KKM. We thank the Lord. No. Gabaniru one no one.
I'm a good onye nke izi taa good alụ ka ntị ya na ya gbasara ụzọ dị mmasị na ya enye ndị Imo steeti ọkụ na 8 months achọrọ ka ndị ọhụrụ ụzọ dị ajụjụ na olopụdịrị nkwa okporo yut ndị Imo steeti na atụcha election ya ya akpọpụ mmadụ yut ndị mmadụ 4,000 obodo oyibo olopụziri elopu
ọ na-akpọpụ n'oredi ọ ka na-akpọpụ ọ na-akpọpụ isef before ka wee a na-ejesi training gasị and all of that. Ọ ndị ọ na-akpọpụ gasị a na-eje training youths. I can't tell you exactly the amount, mana ọ nwego ndị ọkpọpụ already. Ọ ndị ọ na-akpọpụ already.
Ka njụtakwa n'ọzọ nọ na ịma na ụlọ ọrụ ndị journalist nsogbu adịghị na ọrụ ya na-eme ka anyị na-ama ihe dị
nsogbu arụ
anụbọ m nke ọnụ ka m mere ya ezikịta so na nke gbasara ọkụ announcement ha ọ sị na ya ya eweta mgbe gọvanọ oti ezigbo nwa Chukwu ji gọzie ya n'Igbo mgbe o tiri ọkụ na Abia steeti ọnwa onye mere announcement ọ jọsọ na-arụrụ onwe ya ọrụ ihe si n'obi pụta na ihe anyị na-alụ na ụmụnne ka ya na-arụrụ ya ha dị hapi ego gọọmenti anyị amasị ya n'ọnụ ihe anyị dị n'aka ha bụ rụọ na ya okporo ụzọ ya na ya ọkụ ya na sekuriti n'okwu anyị mmiri ọmagbu onwe nwezi ego erụpụta nụ na afọ ya na-akpa ụnụ ma ụmụ nọ nke nụ na ahịa arụ enetin na-ewere ego fọrọ na-ata o rutere mgbe elekshọn ọ na-ekurite ọ na-adị na ajọ ihe adịrị ka ọkụ so na-etu o kwere nkwa kịta na ya ga-enye ha ọkụ na etimot ọ dị mma ya gba mbọ mezuo ya ọzọ dị ka ibe bụrụ nke amamọdị nke dị na nwunye Nnamdị Kanụ ji eje visit na DSS
o je visit na DSS no Ifeanyi Oba bụ ihe helpụrụ ya wee make jenwe otu because na ọ sị ya na-ejebo ana reject ya till approach Ifeanyi Oba facilitate ọ dịzie easy to go
ịmara Anambra steeti election erugolokwa ọ gbarụkwa nke a wee dachie ihe mere ya na ya nwata nwunye mgbe ọ chọrọ ije bụ Nnamdị Kanụ ọkụ nwurie ọgba eje kọt ka o jee weta akwụkwọ si Ifeanyi Oba ha mgbe ọ chọrọ ijekwu ya 2021 a na-eme elekshọn ọkụ nwurie aka eje kọt ka o weta akwụkwọ ọma wetacha akwụkwọ na kọt pụta tel ọfụ ya kịta anụmanụ o jizie n'uche Ejika nọ wee kulite maka na elekshọn na-erubegokwa ka ụmụazị Biafra wee pụta wee tụọ ịgba akwụkwọ ya were nwayọọ na ya aghọtagokwa n'ebe ụgbọ bụ anyị aga ya were nwayọọ wee na-akpọ uche esi ka nọ na ya duzere ka o jepụ nna ndị Igbo mana mgbe a na-eme kọtụ mgbe eje kọtụ nwaanyị abịa ọrụ kịta ọkpọrọ ya jebe fụ ha ma anya wee jenwu ha ọkpọ nke 2021 elekshọn Anambra steeti erubego ọ pụta akwụkwọ ọzọ werekwa ụmụazị Igbo mewekwa ihe dị ha mma ọzọ dị ka ibe bụrụ nke ma o nwere ike ediwe ka m hapụ saịdị ahụ achọghị m anyị kwuwe dịka ịdọba mba
mbanụ anyị ga na-esteti na faktị na nke ọ bụla ịchọkwa ikwu iwelu faktị wee na-abịa na nwere ọzọ
maka kredit ịma na ndị nepasa ha ga-eti ego nke ha onye pozishọn onye nọ na-adọba kọfam n'obodo a ebe onye ji etie ya ike pozishọn ahụ o jidesie ike na-agbaghị ndị mmadụ
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. What is your take on all of this? You know, the possibility of even Imo State to achieve this electricity, you know, for like maybe between 8 months. It's possible because there is already a facility, you know, that was abandoned by the NDDC and he's working with it. Let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, my brother. How are you doing?
Cool.
Welcome.
Calling from
Okay, please go on, sir.
Okay, Nnamdi Kanu's wife.
Yeah.
This is
Mm.
right direction.
Okay.
You have to know that that man here is a married man that has to, despite the fact that he's not interested and he's not trying to catch him, and all of those things that the law should have freed him and the government is trying to withhold.
Okay.
It's alarming, and I love the fact that clergy had to say something about it. And, it should be a clarion call for I think all the Southeasterners to have one voice about that. See how it will be.
Okay. That's it. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. Thank you. We need to hear from you. 07034 4593 34 or 07045 592210. Let's hear from you now. Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, my brother. Hello.
Yeah, better.
My brother.
Yeah, I want to start a humble animal.
Okay.
Now
can you do my brother?
Yeah. Only intelligent. Atiku nyepụtara kọji ndị nta akụ nyepụtara Atiku na-ekwu maka about the company.
Yeah.
My question bụ ọ bụ that na achọpụta that na nwa Tinubu na ya and then also na the company ma na the company bụ ya nwe ma ọ bụ eziokwu na eze ori mmadụ afọ mmadụ ya wee na-agazi na obe ihe nchọrọ ịjụpụta na onye nchọrọ ịjụpụ ọ bụ na enyepụta na ihe dị otu a dị enwere ike iji this opportunity make the president see ka ọ bụ because all they are against the law.
Okay. The thing is now even councils the president na defend the na akwa na obolo na obu the fact na obu a member of the board enwe kwifo maybe onwe ka ha si ko kwa na akwa na you know nyawa bụ the guy abolo nyawa nwe not just you know he's there at the end of the day. So but the thing is that the matter can go on, we'll get to hear from you know legal luminaries and Malo Kahasi Choziaka Osiga at the end of the day. Now the magazine we had and Nyamabo, you know, the former vice president of Nigeria ran with it at the end of the day. Or you know, maybe if it were Oku Batazena court and Fuzefe at the end of the day. That's just the thing.
Okay, there is my answer. That's for sure that's in the book. Because that's in your now, Cobra an example of what that language still in Nigeria when I caught it. And you think that even if not find it out, how many have much they make? I suggest they cover it like the way they cover the Kogi state government, Kiri Kotlek, Banket and Plastic in Kakan and look like you still a point to where Nigeria. We shall say they had to go and verify your people come on that's not. Akọ n'ụjọcha ka ndị mmadụ ghara ịnọzi na-ekezi ma ihe ọbụrụ aka ma ọ bụ na ndị adịghị uche na-agbasi ọsọ This Alleges Lampanya, I don't remember the name. So, but the Indian Unity here was regardless of Castiania. So, when I catch it, open a snake now, Member, Mopona, I gave you a candidacy, men the system towards that. All that them what I never satisfied for me. So, I want to be here by the day. One man will twist in great cook, in 2% for one company or the other. Because I think I get to level the company when on your win. And when it can pass, look what now, and they are kept by with my area, the Polo, when I go for your. So, I think you mind of Nigeria. As a company, get up on Canada and North.
For the first time.
Nevertheless, open here, I got judgment now.
Okay.
Then I'll tell you for talent.
Union and the Kano visiting.
Union and the Kano.
Okay.
Take to prison. God, I have to do final.
Yes.
I think for who came in and come all political jargon. They have moved to electoral Anaga. Yeah, this one to book to get away another election. I'm not right why I tried this time around. Or a mother dog because I have to get a hand. I have to do more than got about the
Mana ka nwunye Nnamdi Kanu approach you na asị anyala aka ka okay ihe ọka eme ọkalesi okay ya gaba and all of that. Ke ihe ọka eme if you are in his position ke he ga-eme for the wife.
Remember that the name I can't do this ceremony here. I always know why you're there.
No, onyanwa yolia opu ni a jego jekwa ofia alo ya we approach ya. No onyanwa help us ile facilitate your work for you.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
Okay.
Also, no, what you know, when I know when I put it in the Korea.
At the end.
Yeah. I think was a bishop of what is Anglican Communion. He hoped to the real. The majority may put a one of these satisfaction so make it and make it do from Sahara. And you knew her. Okay, so lemon line, they were vice president, not in Chagoury. And also some of the I won a fellow. And they come and have the whole thing is good to point and I see a president of everybody president of Nigeria. And then you do it. When I took me behind them, how always open and my station make it study or the clear out of my university. And now, someone that Nandi will go to time when I will keep the sound to focus. I see but nothing, not any settle. Then also, I never do then I am my work.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. Dalo, let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello.
Yeah, Martin.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah. Gabaniru sao.
He said that the station of Union and the camp. The politics is where they are. I want to model, yeah. They facilitate here in the station. Upload media comment.
Okay.
But I will agree with. If I'm not one, I'm not capable to see the process. Therefore, I'm not the camera.
Okay.
If we let the Sunday go, the people might not politics and whatever for 5 years unstoppable. 5 years vigorously when make sure that they are one level after. Next you put your party no, don't let it talk of me. So some people, even if you put self-determination, nothing. Let us go busy on international law.
Yes.
Not sure because I have a fight to do the phone of water. I want to go down 1 year. Restriction, not the CCTV, you want to put on media.
No, at the time, I said quite a record after all Munye and the Kano Buzo we put on a radio station. You have
one we keep yellow, but I am not no CCTV. And then I to make sure that the magistrate of Portal, or if we put that in media propaganda, we journalists in the way the later of effort, as well as the final band, when we will be common visitation, or something I did discuss on my media. Never occasion, or the Portal, or when China, when I put a good stuff, Time was every man the camera for that, but all you like the one special vehicle like they book from Prince, Oxford, or that all media propaganda. But all the people letters, very much letter. That's why now you put on my car, they go ask the apple in there. Yes, like the very person going to push everything about to release or wouldn't have the kind of time association in that one, or any level, research doctor. Now, not only that, vehicle or move with our own group. So we're actually looking we're actually putting that way to put it back for man. No media chatting, no media propaganda, no posting, no nothing. So God beautiful. It wasn't by the president of Nigeria. Like for them. Now that you look at the way that's the energy I will not take off. And if I don't know before my last administration, we took on the make sure that you know in reach is that the whole world over my Nigeria for a need. Maybe a letter card I change the system or where I don't hear the call the wash. We put on the Euro that keep the thing that he puts.
Mani inozika to eze no ne ekwukwa na or like the inclusivity in our governance this particular president.
He's preparing his children now for leadership.
Okay. Okay.
So just need to know what if we know one person don't like it too much, like don't know like maybe a politician or one political families. Political family, now family and no one
politician.
Politician.
Family bo lawyer, law family, be but everybody be a barrister, not the family.
Just like that. So, no created a political family in Nigeria. Well, good. So, before guys criticize our last leaders, I'm not together with family. Or that participate in a politics.
Yes.
People but we now have a Tinubu no 1 year. One more into active politics. Of course, just a level. Active participation in politics. We want to name on there. When system now prepare. Only not at the one with the appointment. Any appointment when you base it on your record.
Okay.
Record we can
Ngano Subaru, I achịkọta ka enwe ike nabata ndị ọzọ ịnachiata will continue the conversation, sir. Okay, Dalo, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello. Yes, good evening. My brother, Keki man. Afa gina bisa by o. Okay, Gabani Runande. Okay.
All of them demand the kind of demand the kind of federal government because they know the politics of the kind of and I'm not happy the kind of policy the kind of so because nobody don't know when the no outside video this situation on the wine who is this man? Who is his father?
is his political mentor. Where did he come from? They ask a lot of questions there. Then now they can let me on and then after scholarship.
Okay.
Later around himself. So now they began to take way and back, make all manner of plans how to stop him, because that's when I have a threat to him. Even most of the clergy no Nanibo, Monday no after Nanibo. Nobody's happy because Soja exposed to a lot of things.
Okay.
Concerning Jesus, the folk awareness. So they matter a lot of things in Hamaro. Both in the governance and no cartoons.
And that was the surge in, like, of the youth into, you know, idolatry, into, you know, email men and those. Yeah, that was what brought it about, right?
I agree with you better. I agree with you.
Okay.
Because the kind of going about issue, people as a listener of the Kano, the man who wouldn't go now the kind of work introduce or idolatry. Rather, even now the kind of who would have now, I think we freedom of worship in Biafra.
Okay.
And then idolatry out of our religion.
Look at nearby in Ewejia, even you who kita or Jeff Weabo, on ekene ndi politicians na Igbo, na Abambo, you know, on the sideline, no one even redeem Bofana Bake, we make sure neighbor is in Nandekano. So, but some of the followers of Cabo just say Kuzoku. Now, recognize the efforts of the politicians. So, what about the followers? Why can't, you know, some of the followers recognize, you know, the efforts of politicians who are working towards, you know, his release at the end of the day?
That is the evil position for you. In that forum, I'm going to become of political positions I know here, especially evil position. So not God for God. Whenever one thing on ground ever, we know our position, we know the agenda plan, we know the thought they are made of. You know that? So overall, then we are the kind of target and they just not have in this moment. But in the other sector of it, and they play on the grand thing. You know that?
Okay. So, anyway, that I just assume no to Akosidi, but most of them will still disagree. Like somebody like the Deputy Speaker Carlo. You know, only of them might even born and about this young woman. No way for Kukita. Or say that Tinubu not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship. Do you agree with him? That Tinubu Adro is not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship. Do you agree with the Deputy Speaker Carlo on that?
I do not agree with him.
Okay.
Tinubu is one of the persons who that now oil subsidy is oil subsidy book a scam during the Jonathan administration.
Okay.
Tinubu made before Buhari were Banyan. And of which that now open up Buhari stop for that car at that. So, you know, when it's not going to change, because what you are not given by the people, you are most responsible. And I'm not sending one in the Gita. You know, the biggest is not responsible. In order that you will make that in a but in this case, people will not give him that mandate, and therefore he cannot hold it in a job place in favor of people. Anyhow, so it's most responsible. But I'm not going to put it at the table to put some home because let's not like Nigeria. When you can say no that we believe in one Nigeria, so I look at that person, he's a criminal. When I was look at the level of Nigeria, it's a weird. I don't know that when you can now thinking that me for the other Nigeria. The man of the Nigeria. You know
when anyway, a lot of people comes to this country who are still passionate that when they say, you know, brothers across the country now just only Igbo, man only brother na even na Yoruba, only brother na Hausa at the end of the day. So if you na any other option.
My brother, I surround this
yes, he could cut across a brother from another mother. It could also be brother Yota from no like that.
You can have friends that don't talk, but like brother.
Yes, some people describe that as a brotherhood as well. My brother, I gonna battle Zoketa Makata Madozi. In I continue this conversation. In Achata will continue, okay?
In conclusion about the man,
okay. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. Kanna Batandozo, oh, thank you. I am Batandozo. In Achata will continue the conversation. Remember the numbers 07034 459334 or 07045 592210. I got a message Naka Don Arizona from Monteja, and he says, I hope Mr. Atiku is very sure of these accusations over Mr. Tinubu because I'm not a politician or either the members. I'm not, so I have nothing to say about this. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello. Yes, good evening, sir. How are you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much, my brother. Okay. Okay.
Thank you. So, whatever. I don't want never I teach you. And go to all from the message. I do worshiper. Remember, Namdi say your family like you. Come on over, that will be the freedom of worship. Come on, even as I do worship, I don't have to get up, but I don't have to be young wanted down because of what. I didn't want to do guys to you.
Yes, so oh if oku imaka amam this ihe na-ekwu si from ihe mo na the last caller ba yota oh if for oku gase expose about religion na Nigeria Melo eju move like most especially can point one out when he started talking about the amount of Yoruba people that owns churches, right? You remember, right? So and I think no if any na butezi that's all. Do I mean you go to her? But anyway, that is not like every focus side go to Ketabo. Now, Munia visit Munia to DSS at the end of the day. Kambia only enjoy point out. Ne enjoy point out the fact that the wife making politicians maka fofana ata amen and dear the free at the end of the day. What? Okay, my brother.
Politicians, Americans, if we will still more politicians, we must react in what they are wanting. But what we need to ban, that's all done. Money didn't do that choice. Guy one of them that didn't. Now, only politicians to remember except anti but come one that is you. Of all Tinubu dynamic. Of all I was of planning dynamic, the kind of big ban. Ini baca kapan dekat pada kalau itu semua orang ini terus dia lu itu baru nak jodoh pas nanti kalau dapat itu match kau ni sure naik ada surprise yang nawa mau buat asal profesor sunya mau nama mau buat dia tapi bawa nak kita agak dia muka anak apa karena nanti kalau punya apa ya politik itu kau macam ada proses. Punya itu because ya orang apa mana orang mana kalau kau buat nama orang punya semuanya nama punya itu because kena nanti kalau dia ni mereka ini kita mereka koya nama itu kita kau semua mana kira pun apa mana terkini apa tak ni juga apa harus terkini apa tak ni juga apa juga cari juga apa tu berjasa apa tu buat dulu tu cari tahu itu kalau buat tak apa sih mana ada praktik yang support
yeah, so Makonka but the next thing because the deputy speaker Carlo Puruna Tinubu are responsible for Nigeria's current hardship. I disagree. Practically,
physically, intimately, disagree with him. That's what I'm going to do. Now, they can do it. I'm going to be there.
Okay.
It's in a really show for the Ramadan. Mana, some people can get you. When you put in now, who book a hammer, you need to put the happy. If you share that, one of the most it's not before that. Hi! Who's the way they teach?
Okay. I ain't turning in a chair. Now, Papu Makia, I will malaise. I'll try it one out.
When you think so, put on the Ramadan. No, I ain't tired of time. You never think time because I'm not the sort of brown I'm going to.
But in the Puna, I don't know exactly about I'm and I want to go cases about for the like in Kiba as well. But in one places like Omombala or more now, for example, and a lot of mechanized farming naga on around there. As I'm talking to you now, I saw with my eyes.
Population nine, always okay. But population nine, of course, market one of uno buona about that for people now. If that's our two of it now. Every people are not doing that. I'm not going to have that too much. Because of what my question, if I make it to me. Okay. So we're on our way now.
So well, my brother, I am about to continue this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. Let's hear from you now. What do you have to say about all of this? Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good evening, my brother. How are you doing?
Fine. Oh, give much more of this one.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
An institution, IPOP, US, and others, they are institutions.
Okay.
If I find a panel, we know him. I don't grant. And what if you don't want a guy? People, then we when I feel the one chicken, I don't want money here. And when the family is so, and I'm for I believe. If you are on the car, over the other with the team, that paid him, send him. And they do him up on the buy Amarono, or you never want it. I don't know if that's I understand the answer. Okay, no more it. Look about the novel American came here. The world I won't see on one war. And I will feel in a higher what you have. And then you take a dinner. If you hear them and I need, okay, to pay what you do, then one can't do for Morocco. No, Land Carlos name when Jim does not dream and happy. I read it on in a good land Carlos. And when Land Carlos was what quiet. Always had three that go to your route to go on for George when you about them Land Carlos. Land Carlos bargaining on a full out one way. How about that means the more you send here, or you can want to go for future capital. For the West, all these people need for us because they have no. That's why they give out what we have Nigerian government in the Korea, but no put out, then only I was not. And then you with that now, how many even not the color. How much get down out there, you have the apple. Have the apple come on also. I won't know when you come on also. People are now, on the time you, and why I can't believe you. You my pride, my company that I live. Okay, Senata. Not the kind of one of the other what I do. Oh, okay, what's up? Only another arrow coming at them. You will be at them, but people got them.
Anyway, this entire thing about idolatry and all of that. See, from conversation, erupt from one a particular color that called at the time. But what we are talking about, yes, like some of the things he tried to address, about religion. Now I put the surge. Oh, you want
to if we're not the kind about it. Some of you people, journalists, you work on the street or journalists, but also even not the color. Some of you people are very also.
How so?
Common people. Yes, so. But the Indian journalists born on the common people, and then that the liberal process. And how about when they want to facilitate more? Who journalists will get a interview there? What do those information? You know, the color of the couple. When you go with this good people, when you got large and also with the kingdom of God, people are not. If only I had to go to one of our old me, so I am on the next alum. Different way, different way I got Agroma, one or 4 university. I am lawyer, I am senator. If we put to the other, you see, can make our call.
Dalo, my brother, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll hear from you. What do you have to say about all of this? That's right. You're tuned to Abona at the 103.5 FM, and this is a political views. Now we'll hear from you. What do you have to say about all that we're talking about and all that is going on in our political space this evening? Hello.
Hello, Martin.
Yeah, good evening, my brother. How are you doing? Okay, Gamani Ruo. Yeah.
Ndị enwe mgbe ha ji ya na ntakịta ndị Igbo atụrụ ya ndị nkizi eketa federal gọọmenti e nwere program ga-eme ọka next ọka disma na na-emekwu na the program ka mata na taịm mgbe ndị Igbo ji na ndị Kalụ agago bikọs na hapụgara na Nnamdị aka ha dị na Nnamdị karịa mkpọ ihe na ndị karịa bụ bikọs ebe ebe London so adụta na nwata eziokwu na ndị na-esi so n'aka ndị Igbo apụgara ndị ndị isi na-anegide federal gọọmenti aha na-adọbe ma ama iwuru kọpụ wee jee na ndị Kalụ ana ọzọ ebe ọzọ na titi ọnụ ụlọ ebe anyị kpatara Ifeanyị Ụba nwata enwe chọba nzigo eche m na ọ na-abụ mmadụ nwa na ete hitiri ihe ọnụ ya alụ amụta ga-enu ya na-agụ kasị ife onye agbekasị ọbụ ife ọjọọ datara nwunye nna ndị Kalụ pụta wee na ekene ekwu maka Ifeanyị mana Ifeanyị dọtụ ya ọbụla
o nwere ife ọjọọ dị na mmadụ ikene onye nyere ya aka
ife ji na-adịghị ya maka ndị na-ekwudatụ na ha nọ maka politiks gịnị nwa ọ bụ ife anyị gbapụtago ga-emeshọn ịdagọrọ emeshọn na Anambra steeti okwurire ọ napụrụ onwe gị iribe iko kpatara onwe ya ife maka aja azụ erechara maka ụta na-ekwu na so maka ndị na-ekwu anamata ekekwu bụ afọ osoro udo na-achị Anambra steeti ọzọgo neshọnal fọm gbana febal ọfọda bifo owu na nke owu so mmadụ mee ife na ịga ya na-ekene onye a a na-akọ ife n'elu a na-akọta onye a na-agọrọ ịpụta ibe ọzọrọ obodo agụgodi fọm imegoro bifo a na-asụkasapọtụ onye a na onye mgbedo na onye megoro ifedo na ọbịa ife mejima gba eji ediche onye pụtara akọ uche taa maka iwere taa na fon
mana some people compare Beria to Chidoka na mgbe o mekwara nke ya na okwuru okwu so much and all of that, but at the end
onye kwuru okwu abụọ nwa na mkpụ okwu nna m ukwu nna m ochie na-elekọta ma ekelekwara na ebe ọ nọ na naanị ụlọ mmadụ ka Chineke gba ume n'aha Jizọs na-abịa anyị na-ekwu nwa na-agba okwu ọtụta anyị so na the first man anyị nọ na Anambra steeti ọgọta ka anyị si from na gọta ọkụ iwe ka ebe ndị amị bara anyị na nareti esi na gọta wee ruo kpọgide ọkụ iwe bara kpọgide
okay, yes, be that nke figure
n'iru ka akwado egbe n'aka gọjie aka ọchị nke ga-ekezi ọbara n'aka so mmadụ pụtara na-enwere n'ọnụ etinyere nwere isi bikọs ọf na eji n'ahịa eti na adịghị aba na-etinye ife ndị Igbo ọgbụgbọ datụla
we have land can even do like here. After you not to send that land, but you see, oh, you have to know how to surrender that one. So now we say for we should go to Makai find a balance because of the people of Kanon and people election. Yes, people of course, because we don't have a guy, let's not know what they do. Now you are not going to take it out. Macano, I put no Jeff Macaman the Gal. They say to get on not because of non artificial financial. Yes, on top of that, we have to hear. No, we know the number of years here. After that, almost, yes, something coming to find a man the way.
Okay. Now, nsogbu arụ achọrọ m ka iti ikwu ọnụ n'ihe gbasara ihe honorable deputy speaker of the house bụ Kalu kwuru about the also na Tinubu is not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship na ọ bụrụ Tinubu mere ya ikwete n'ihe ọ na-ekwu.
Yes, I know I was from here. I was from the all of I never took up on the box of the lady, but when the different Mararo, but I'm a Pula. So now I was looking at the motor. If I was going to my son, when they say taking Nigeria. So going to go on.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. Yes, it is still political views on Airborne at the 103.5 FM. Remember that we're also talking about the fact that Oti said, Governor Oti of other states said, I am not fighting anyone, only interested in good governance. What do you have to say about all of this? Let's hear from you now. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, yeah. Your name and location.
Speaking from Affiliation. You don't dare tell anybody from other states, and they will use money to bring the persons out. It has never happened in Nigeria. Maybe court convicted you for murdering someone, and they use money to bring you out. It has not happened. It is some other cases. I cannot say for that. So let's be telling. We should start telling ourselves the truth. When you don't know something, don't speak about what you don't know about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. But please, I will need you to also contribute. Tinubu not responsible for Nigeria's current hardship. Deputy Speaker Kalu is the one saying it. Do you believe that?
What is responsible for Nigerian current hardship, Abi?
Yeah.
See, it's just about 1 year. I am blaming our president just about 1 year because he is not at the head of affairs. You understand? What my blame is we Nigerians, because it is our failure that made this country to be as it is today. If you travel out of Nigeria, see where other people live in their country, it's not the same thing like the way we do here. Let me ask you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, I can hear you. Go on.
During the election, if I'm contesting an election with you, and they know me as a bad man, know you as a good man, okay? During campaign, you keep on giving money, sharing it. Your people keep on giving us gifts and money. The day of the election, you keep on giving people money, voters money. Is it not the criminal that
okay? Yes, it is.
We vote for people that have given us something. Money you will not eat for more than 1 hour. You suffer for 4 years. Then when you after voting for the wrong person because you've taken money, the following day Sunday you keep on deceiving yourself in your church.
Yes.
You're praying for Nigeria to get better.
One of the election observers during this presidential election last year observed that the act vote buying, that Nigeria is the only place, she have seen such thing like vote buying in the first place. So that she have never heard the citizens are also.
So let me be very frank with you, okay, and listen, okay?
Okay.
How many of we fathers and mothers have nurtured our children properly? Because this is where it starts from. So we that our parents nurture properly, look at the way we are behaving. What about ours that we are not nurturing properly? We are praying to nurture them.
Okay.
Is it not a deceit? Look at what is happening in Ghana. These are direct children of God. So do you know that every Israelite born here, they are also that? Do you know that?
Yes, it is.
Why can't they fold their hands, plant down mountain that preachers go to pray, so that God will save them and to save Israel in community? So we need to our problem. So reading of election, is it position children while they read the election for them? Is it not we?
So years, I think you're listening.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
So years back, if you come back from the city where you are working, your father sold with a vehicle. After welcoming you back, when your father will ask you, who owns this vehicle? You say it's mine. Not that the office you're working that gave you that vehicle. Because if your father has known that the money you receive for as salary is not that your father is was a rich man or he has a vehicle.
Yeah.
So how many parents will do the problem of ourselves? We need total orientation. Continue to start getting better.
Okay.
If not, our prayer is the disease.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Thank you so much.
As you see the way other people are living. But here, what is our personal interest? If I can make 100 million now, 1 million Nigerians, that I will say I'm a strong man. I'm not any strong man.
Okay.
There are things people don't do in other parts of the world. But our problem is personal interest, which is very, very bad. So let me ask this question before I drop, okay?
Okay.
If that maybe in a big Ghana must go, $1 billion is there. You are free to go and carry it, and when you go to carry it, nobody will see you. But after carrying that money, after putting it in a bank or keeping it in a safe place, 1 year time your wife will die. Next year, one of your children will. This is how
a lot of Nigerians will do it. But thank you so much for joining us this evening, my brother. We need to hear from you. We are also talking about the fact that northern leaders, NMPP, won the federal government against the defense pact with US and France. You remember that Niger and Mali, sacked both France and the US, soldiers from their bases in Niger and Mali. And now Nigeria is about hosting those soldiers in Nigeria now, US and France. And northern leaders, NMPP, are not, happy about it. And they are talking about it. They are telling federal government to desist from having that pact, with US and France. 445-9334 or 07045. Yes, we are also looking into, the issue. Federal government slashes ban A electricity tariff to 206.80 kobo. 206 naira 80 kobo per kilowatts. This is basically for the batch A. What is your 07034 459334 or 07? Yes, the mixed reaction continues when it comes to the visit of Nnamdi Kano's wife to DSS to see the husband, which was facilitated by, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. A lot of people are for it, a lot of people are against it. At the end of the day, she visited. She said that she tried several times to get there, but she couldn't because she was rejected so many times. But immediately, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah stepped in, like she said, she approved a month ago. And immediately he stepped into the situation. She got the opportunity to visit the husband at DSS. What is your take? Nine three three four or 07045 9334 or 07045592210. Remember that you can send SMS or WhatsApp messages on 086661035. You can as well join us on Facebook. At a time, NLC TUC insists that 615 acceptable. According to them, the 30,000 naira expired in April. 1,000 naira is what it should be obtainable. But right now, we've gotten to the spot where we begin to call it a day on this particular edition of Political Views on Ebona Day 103.5 FM. when we get to talk about the happenings in the corridors of power, which affects you and I in one way or the other, we shape, the polity, the way it must go, as we contribute, as we say these things, as we begin to, analyze the situation. It helps in one way or the other to also inform, the people who represent us about, the mind of the people that they represent. That said, remember that political views comes way Monday, 1 p.m., Saturday, 10 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock, 11:05 FM. Once it's 6 o'clock this evening, there will be news immediately after Angelus. Till we meet again, I remain Martin. Ifeanyi Ekezie. Have a wonderful evening.
We all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at Ebonade 103.5 FM. It's Martin Ifeanyi every Monday, 3 o'clock, 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders. And most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebonade 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday. Hey, what are your political views? Keep a date.
Hello? Okay, guys. Thank you for being part of this today. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the subscribe button right here. Remember to check this out. It's on Amazon.com. Pick up an ebook also by yours faithfully, Martin Ifeanyi. All right, you rock. It's also available at St. Teresa's Catholic Church, also available at St. Michael's Catholic Church.